Hey, good evening and welcome everyone to TSSR Game Time Live. As we go to work here, we're kind of working through, you ever have one of those first day type of things? Well, this is what we're going through right here, folks. We're trying to hear ourselves in the microphone. Let us know if you can hear us, if you would, please, ladies and gents. I hear things... I hear the mixing board going, but John and I are having a little trouble hearing ourselves here this evening. So we'll work through that. You work with us. We'll continue to do things that way. As everything, give us a shout out if everything's working okay. Folks, this is first broadcast. This is extremely typical, so we'll see here. And as I'm going to fly kind of through this, folks, as we go along, we'll get it figured out as best he and I can this evening as we run along here on the broadcast. As we, it is on, the power's on, that's cool. And I know I'm talking, I can hear myself, I hope you can hear me. I don't know, maybe you don't want to hear me. As we work through, and Havana, the Cyclones picking up game number one. And so people telling me they can hear us. We can't hear each other, John, but, well, that is life, I guess.
That's just the way it goes on the first one, all right?
As Bell Petty serves it over, we'll get the name of the Havana girl coming up here. This is, of course, TSSR Game Time Live. Hit back across by Miller. Drops that in front of Lindsey Dunn, so it makes it a 1-1 tie, he said, as he diligently finds the scoreboard, and we'll do the score thing. See, that you'll go along and as we go along. And now Sir comes off of Page Gets, tipped over by Petty, picked up in the back row by Kramer, set to the middle, tipped over, Petty picks it up, Dunn pops it up. Now Petty gonna send it back through. Right there is Kramer, set to the outside, tipped over by number 2, Layton, who Laytons it in the middle. And now it makes it, well, everybody's having a first night, it appears like, because now it's 2-1. As Paige Kitts hits it over and out of bounds. And I'll do a little cleanup work. It is 4-1, the Ducks with the lead here. And yes, the score is now right at the serve for Havana is at number 5. That is Josie Hughes. Sophomore sends it high, deep, and generally unplayable. And it makes it a score of 3-2. Hey, it's a first night, everybody. Everybody's struggling a little bit. And it's new scoreboard. Serve is across by Kramer, the freshman. Hits it over into the hands of Miller. Now played by the Cyclones. That one a little too close to the net. And Macy Branch can't get it. It is Macy Branch, Haley Hendricks, Lindsey Dunn, Bell Petty, Paige Kitch, and Abby Starbuck, the libero. And I can do that because I know the girls by face, not necessarily by number. So we can do things like that. 4-2. As we get along here, we'll thank some of our very fine sponsors. Serve into the deep back row there by Miller. Petty sets it up for Kitch and hits it over, picking it up there on a nice hit. Bringing it back across was Hughes, and the Cyclones struggling to get it back. It is the score now for the Ducks is 6-2. They lead it here. Bumped around by Petty over to Dunn, booms it into the back row, now knocking it up and high into the air is Lily Snowden. Hits it up near it, across to Dunn. Petty, quick set to Hendricks, and they're going to whistle her for a lift. And so it makes it now 6-2. And once again, going back to serve it is number 9. That would be Willa Towery, a freshman. Serve off of Lindsey Dunn. Petty to the outside, brings it to Dunn, rolls it over, down and good. The excuse me spike drops in and good. And we do want to thank the folks, our fine sponsors, including JoJo's Gaming Parlor, offering the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out TSSR Game Time Live events presented by MDH. Live on the big screens. Join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell, and cheer the Spartans and Cyclones on victory. Lindsey Dunn a little bit long with that one. And now makes it 7-3. Serve going to come across there by Katie Miller. And her serve, they're going to call that in on the back line. And John, very much looks like an early season match tonight.
Yeah, both teams coming into this one. Of course, first game of the year, just getting all done with all the practices they had before this one, brand new. And a lot of these kids, this is their first time playing volleyball this year at this level. And, I mean, you can definitely tell it. I'm not saying they're playing bad, but definitely shaking out the cobwebs from last time they played.
It is 9-3 in favor of Havana. So they bring it across again off of Kitch. Petty going to set it up for Dunn to bring through. High lob into the back row. Right underneath it is Towery. Bumped up to the front and tipped across there by Layton. Hit back by Natalie Moore, and that one's just a little bit long and ups the score to 10-3 for the Ducks. Slap dribbles with it, and Katie Miller lets it go. Low line drive right past Starbuck, and that would be a Country Financial Ace. And Brett Powell sponsoring our Country Financial Ace. We've got a timeout here where it's on the floor. Right here, we'll step aside on TSSR Game Time Live.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
Definitely on there.
And we are back here. The Water and Hole in downtown Augusta is open. They say good luck, Suns, in the season. Stop in for a cold drink Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. to 1 a.m. with happy hour 4 to 6, and Saturday and Sunday as well. Serve of the cross off of Paige Kitch, popped up by Belle Petty over to Lindsey Dunn, and picked up on the Havana side of things by Hughes. Tapped through, and they'll play it. It'll be Abby Starbuck, Belle Petty to Kitch, and that one off her hands. And I hate to say it, but it's kind of the music, that might accompany that's kind of the wee, wee, wee. It's a good idea. Just didn't quite work out how she hoped. Havana brings it again. Kitch from the middle to Petty. Pops outside to Dunn. And low and across, high in the air it goes. They'll set it to the outside, loaded up, and swung on and missed by Snowden. A hat brand built on two staples, comfort and style, specializing in snapback trucker-style caps. Check out the selection or consider customs to build your business at BarkleyBillsCompany.com. Use code TSSR through Friday for 15% off. Don't let the hat rack fool you. There's always room for one more. BarkleyBillsCompany.com. Wishing good luck to all athletes during this season. And they are some slick Cyclone hats. I got to throw in a plug for those as well. Great work by Trent Barkley and the crew. And Lindsey Dunn hammering home our first Tom Conklin State Farm kill of the broadcast and earning a much-needed side out, John, for the Cyclones.
Yeah, Cyclones off to a slow start here. Really haven't been able to get much going. We'll see if that gets the engine fired up. And as we say that one's going to go into the net there. And it'll be back to Havana for the serve.
And this is why all volleyball players should have short hair, because their hair is right over the upward, so I couldn't see. That is Mercedes Bassett, a sophomore. Serve is across off of Starbuck. Cyclones will play it here. Kitch from the outside brings it across and knocks it home. That's another Tom Conklin State Farm kill in the back row off of number 8, Katie Miller, the freshman, and gets the Cyclones the football back. Well, no, it's not. I know it's not the football, but you get the idea. Served by Lindsey Dunn. And now popped up by Havana. They hit another one into the net. As I took a drink of my nice, refreshing Diet Mountain Dew. If you know me very well, you know that's not very far behind me. Lindsey Dunn serving it through, picked up back row. Right there is Willa Towery, hand up the middle, tipped across by Snowden. Petty trying to play it back as she got it to Moore and couldn't get across in the recommended daily allowance of 3 hits. So makes it 14-7. As loading up and ready to serve it, Aiden Klein. Off it done on the right side, set up for more. More comes through, tips it off the net. And you know, John, it's not necessarily how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it.
Yeah, exactly. And that one was perfectly placed there from Nyland Moore. Just basically just tipped it right up and over the net, hit it on the backside of the blockers, and that will result in a point for West Prairie.
Makes it 14-8. Serve tipped over, and they're going to call a net violation. And in a way, Havana got kind of bailed out there, I think, because that was very close to a lift by Bassett. And I think they got bailed out on that one as the Cyclones are in the net. Serve sent through by Snowden. Hits that one into the net, makes it 15-9. We've exchanged kind of, folks, this is early season volleyball. I'm going to say it first foremost off the top and probably about 1,800 times during the broadcast. This is early season volleyball. You can practice all you want for months and months and months and months. When you get in the gym, totally different ball game. As we did see Mason Shipman enter the game, and the serve by Petty, that one into the net. Makes it 16-9 Ducks. And John, I've seen that for a lot of years. Early season volleyball can, what is it they say? You ain't got no alibi because it's ugly, UGLY. It can be.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, as we've mentioned here a couple of times, as we see another, looks like a Havana player might have been in the net there. As we said multiple times, this is early season volleyball, and there's nothing, you can't replicate the feelings and the emotion and just the environment you get playing in front of all these people for the first time in the year in practice. That's just not something that you can get going to the gym every day practicing. So for a lot of these people, it's a completely different environment than they've been used to here.
And that was another Tom Conklin State Farm, actually a Brett Powell Country Financial ace by Paige Kitch. Serves it in the back row again off of Kramer. And Kramer will kind of bump it up toward the front. Mason Shipman underneath it to Petty, tipped across, whack back through, and nice by Miller, who says, stay on your own side. Actually says, no deposit, no return. See, I'm in early season form too, folks. That's part of the problem. I'm in early season form as well. What did they say? A wise man once said, kid just wash this mouth and can't do a thing with it. Towery will serve it high, deep floater off Paige Kitch. Up to Petty. Shipman tipped through and then popped back toward them by Van. Nice job by Shipman or Hendricks. I didn't see which one. Shipman keeps it alive. Petty lobs it deep, and getting it out of there is Snowden. Up front, that one hit down the hands of Hendricks and good as Miller stuffs that one home. M&B Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture store, is the mainstay in the community. Offers free delivery within 40 miles. For everything you need to furnish your home or replenish an old one, stop and see the fine folks at 41 West Main Street in Bushnell, or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or give them a call at 309-772-2111. Another kill by Havana as they up the lead to 19-11. And now Taylor Phelps will come in. Paige Kitch will go out, as Drew Snyder using a lot of his bench here. As Abby Starbuck gets that one in the back row. Petty going to pop it high. Bumped over by Starbuck. Deep back row. And now Braun up front. Tapped through on the front row by Klein. Brought back, and they say, you have it right back. Nice job by Lindsey Dunn. And that was a much needed kill there. West Prairie still, John, not able to get on any kind of a run.
No, it seems like every time they start to mount a little momentum, Havana shuts it down. We've seen a lot of big kills here early. And like you said, West Prairie just hasn't been able to get going here, as we see another ace there from number 15.
That is Abby Starbuck. Another Brett Powell Country Financial ace. Once again, Abby Starbuck going back again. That one popped up from the back row, tipped across, and Starbuck right there in the middle. Shipman going to send it back over. Havana plays it up, and the long run up and kind of hit off the side of the hand of Katie Miller. Makes it 19-14. So here we just talked about that. Foreshadowing. I love that when they follow along. Cyclones on really their first sustained run here in the game. Serve off of Snowden. Klein dribbles it over the top and down for a 20-14 lead. Guess they missed the extra point there somewhere. No, sorry, there's a volleyball show, not a football show. Katie Miller back for the Havana Ducks, launches it high deep and generally unplayable. It would be hard to have it specifically playable, but it happens. McDonough District Hospital athletic trainers and the MDH Rehabilitation Center with locations in Bushnell and Macomb provide expert help to Spartan student athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Learn more at mdh.org. McDonough District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital caring. And a nice serve back there by Macy Branch. And the Cyclones inching within 4. John, that's as close as they've been in a little while.
Yeah, Cyclones got down early, but they have slowly crept their way back into this game. As we're going to see another point there. Narrows the lead down to just 3 for Havana. We'll see if the Cyclones can keep this momentum going and maybe pull into the lead here.
Hughes set that one a little bit close to the net for Layton, had trouble getting it out, so it's a 3-point lead deficit for the Cyclones, or lead for the Ducks, depending on which side you're on. Klein hits it off of Starbuck up in the middle. Load for Dunn, hammers it, and brought up there in the backcourt by Snyder. Hit across, and they're going to say out of bounds. So here they go. The Duck lead, which is once about 8 or 9 points, is down to 2. As Branch with a serve, and that one bandage up another Country Financial ace. The Ducks will talk it over. They are going to go to the nest and talk it over. It's a 1-point lead. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Back here again, having slow and reliable internet just doesn't cut it in 2022. MTC Communications offers lightning fast, reliable fiber internet, video, phone service, and camera to the McDonough, Henderson, and Hancock County area. Another nice serve by Macy Branch. And the way she's serving, she is bringing the whole tree. 2020 ties. Cyclones will try for the lead. They had a lead at 1-0. Tip is across, and that one out of bounds. Cleveland wins the pennant. And I'll give you a shiny nickel if you know what movie that comes from. Macy Branch again. This one a little short to the middle, and another miss hit by the Ducks as Snyder was not able to handle it. 22-20. The Cyclones rallying all the way back to take the lead. Branch hits that one in the net. So the Ducks will get it back here, 22-21 Cyclones. Bassett will check back in to serve it. The sophomore will let it go. As Bassett loads, sends, and that went into the net. So the Cyclones, John, and as far down as they were in this one, to be able to come back and rally, take this one would be a huge, huge booster for these girls.
Yeah, definitely, and that momentum could play towards the second set if they were to walk away with this one. We'll see as that's done back there to serve.
And her serve taken in the back row, popped up there by Hughes. They'll load her up, and Dunn digs it out for West Prairie. Up front to Moore. Moore deep back corner, just a bit long. And substitutions aplenty. Hulett Towery will come in. Olivia Kramer will come in. Lots of freshmen. They replace Klein and Snyder. They'll step out there. Back to serve for Havana is Lily Snowden. 23-22. And they're checking the rotation now is what they're doing. They're giving the rotation a check, as they'll do that from time to time. 23-22, 1 point lead here, and they're trying to check, make sure the substitutions are all in the right place, I assume. For all your local news, subscribe to the Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday. As an option, you can receive Monday and Wednesday editions by email. All of this for only $42 per year or $38 per year if you're 65 or older. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, and Blandonsville. Served by Kramer. Floater. Starbuck is there. It is hit back by Havana, and Dunn digs it up for West Prairie. Set back, and Petty thought somebody was there. They was not. 23-23. Havana will try to surge into the advantage as they slap dribble at it. High floater to Paige Kitch on the left side. Brought back to her from Petty. She'll hit it long and brought up toward the net. Tip backwards, and actually Bassett bumped the setter into the net, John. I mean, one of those you kind of giggle at, the kind of the sports follies-like thing. She actually bumped her own setter into the net.
Yeah, and a nice break there for the Cyclones as they're going to get the serve back here. Only need 1 point to walk away with this one.
And that one set up for Havana. Dropped in on the back line. It was a net violation anywho. 24-24. How about that? Our first JV match of the season, and we get overtime. Who'd have thunk it? Wind again, send, short shot, done, nice save. And Kramer gonna pop it up for Havana, Bassett with it. And then a little confusion for them, drops home, 25-24, back to the Cyclones. And Bell Petty with a chance to finish. Bell Petty, one of the better servers for this Cyclone bunch. Actually, Mason Shipman will come in first, replacing Macy Branch. As Bell Petty serves it. Shot picked up by Havana. Bassett's going to help it out. They'll tip it through. Shipman right back over to Havana. And they will play it. Bassett going to bring it up front. Lobbed over. Dunn able to dig it at the floor. Petty keeps it alive. And then Havana flips it back off the hands of Shipman and down. And we're tied at 25. Quick thinking there by Josie Hughes. As Layton checks back in. That's Carson Layton. Mercedes Bassett will take a seat. Serving now for Havana is Josie Hughes. Branch is in, Shipman out for West Prairie. 25-25 tie here. Serve kind of off the side of her hand. Kitch had to take it. Petty to Hendricks. And she'll hit it. Went off the side of the box and down it goes. And I don't know why. The last few times I've seen these girls play, they like to play overtime. Some of these, the 8th graders coming up from last year, 26-25, West Prairie. Kitch, low line drive into the net, 26-26. Taylor Phelps will check in, no relation. Kramer will come out, and Klein will come in on the front row. Serving for the Havana Ducks is Towery. Her serve drops right in between two Cyclones, and Havana has the advantage.
Perfect placement on the serve there. Just hit it right where nobody was standing on the side of the Cyclones, and Havana here 1 point away.
And sending it is Towery again, trying to put it away off of Starbuck. They load it outside. Dunn tips it over and popped up there, set and actually tipped through by Josie Hughes. Petty's going to set it outside. Dunn with the load up. Dug nicely at the floor. Popped up by Havana. It will go over to West Prairie's side. And Branch tried to hit it back. Hit it into the net. And down. And that is game number 1 in the books. 28-26. Havana takes that one. So that will usher us into game number 2. And we'll have that for you coming up here in just a bit. This is a TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. Good Hope Gardens, located at 445 East Main Street, Good Hope, just east of the North Elementary School. Open April through October, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. See them for all your fresh produce needs. Be sure to follow their Facebook page for daily updates. Currently, we have pumpkins and other fall goodies available. Grover and Mary Jo DeCounter and family invite you to Good Hope Gardens. You can come see where it's grown. Your farm is your legacy. As a leading farm insurer, Country Financial is here to help protect it. Call Brett Powell, your local country rep, at 309-652-3889 for a free quote today. Sponsor of the Brett Powell Country financial ace. Located in the heart of Walnut Grove and in business since 1974, Ryden Farm Supply can meet all your needs for LP, seed, fertilizer, and farm chemicals. Their LP service unmatched in this area, and as a customer, they'll take care of you. Give them a call today at 309-772-3121. We're going to stop off with this commercial timeout. Be back in just a moment on TSSR Game Time Live.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Oh, and goodness. Oh, first broadcast fun. There is plenty of things going on here that Greg's dropped his paper now 3 times. And
Twice in the span of like 3 seconds. What was that?
Yeah, now that's pretty good to do that in a 30-second commercial. I mean, that's pretty doggone good to do that in a 30-second commercial 3 times.
The rosters plus the clipboard. Just can hang on to anything.
And I'm going to take another sip of my nice, refreshing Diet Mountain Dew. I should get a sponsorship from there. I really should. As much as I ingest, I think I've already paid for 3 wings at people's houses. Anyway, as we digress, 28-26, Havana takes the first game of the match as we get ready to load up and go back after it here. John, really, the play evened out a little bit, a little ragged to start there, but kind of evened out there late in the game, and that's what West Prairie's got to do. They got to continue to just push forward. You got to forget the errors, forget how everything's kind of gone back and forth and sideways, and just relax and play volleyball.
Yeah, if West Prairie can, in the last game they got down early. I think it was 11-3 at one point. But if they can play the same way that they played after that first time out, where they started to come back and make it competitive and actually force, overtime, if they can play like that for this whole game, this should be an interesting match.
Well, and Havana starting off red hot in that one, as dropping at home was number 8, Katie Miller. And let's get you their starting lineup, as it is Carson Layton, number 2, number 8, Katie Miller. Back at the serve now is number 5, Josie Hughes, who lets it go for a 1-0 Havana lead. And off of Dunn up to Hendricks. She'll lob it deep, and that one fairly close to a lift, but not, I guess. As now Dunn will hit it into the net, and it is 2-0 Ducks very quickly. I don't have a very good quack, or I would do that. And funny enough, trivia, a quack does not echo. Lily Snowden in there as well, as the serve comes off of Hughes. Tipped across by Penn. And then so eager to hit it back was Miller. It's like, oh, a Christmas present. Hit it right into the net, and a side out for West Prairie. Serve by Petty. Into the back row. Popped up there by freshman Kramer. Bumped over, and West Prairie plays it. Petty going to back set it over to Branch. Brings it across. Picked up back row there by Snowden. Set up front. Tipped over by Layton. And Petty's got it for West Prairie. Branch up with it to Petty. Lobs it through. Played by Kramer. And then spiked across by Hughes up front for Petty. Going to load it to the outside. Paige Kitch. Low line drive. Popped up again, and they'll keep it going. That one, though, hit into the net by Towery. And that'll side it over to West Prairie's. Bell Petty lets it go and drops it into the back row for another Brett Powell Country financial ace. And it's 3-2. The Cyclones have pulled into the lead. Petty, back row. Up front now, they're going to set it on the outside is Layton, and she got up under that one, sent it to the back wall. West Prairie takes a 2-point lead, 4-2. And Petty will load it up again. And I got to tell you, John, a little side note while we're watching the play. You know what's really cool? Look at all the people that are here in the stands. This is really awesome. I mean, we've been kind of a couple years as Havana drops in the Tom Conklin State Farm kill. We've been a couple years where the crowds have been smaller. You know, a couple years ago, the crowds were nil, and now we're seeing the crowds come back. And I tell you, that's cool. And I love all our listeners at home. I love y'all, all of you, all y'all. But it's kind of cool to be back, see everybody back, too. That's a fun thing. Tip over by Havana. That one comes up to the net. Petty not able to rescue it. We're tied at 4 apiece. And I'm sorry, John, I kind of jumped in there. I'll let you comment.
Yeah, I mean, just the crowd's atmosphere in the gym tonight has been pretty good, especially for a JV game. As we saw last year with the COVID restrictions that were in place, some of these JV games didn't have as many fans in the stands, but tonight it is a jam-packed house already, and we still got a varsity matchup to play here, Greg.
It is, and nothing better than butts in the seats. I mean, kind of, I guess, a vulgar way to say it, but it's the truth. As Havana brings it over to Dunn, Petty will set it across. And Havana going to play it. That one kind of tip side saddle by Miller. Is able to drop it in and good. And it doesn't matter how it looks as long as it drops home. And we're tied at 5. Taylor Phelps is in. Paige Kitch is out. And again, I love all y'all at home. Glad you're listening. Miller. Strong serve off of Starbuck in the back row. Up for Lindsey Dunn. She'll hit it back and up. Showing her strength. I mean, to hit it that far back it up's impressive. Layton off of Phelps. And that one set for Branch. Popping it up is Snyder for Havana. And then Klein, she and Layton couldn't decide who was going to get it. Drops home and West Prairie reclaims the advantage. And I have to say, thrilled to work with you again, Mr. John.
As for you, Greg, be interesting season this year.
It will be.
That's for sure.
And I will say I will be logging some absences this volleyball season. So I'm going to be needed elsewhere, but we'll get through. As Petty pops it up, Moore going to slap it over and dug up there by Havana in the back row. Tapped across by Hughes to Petty. She'll tip it and drop it. As she puts it in and good. And West Prairie takes a 2-point advantage. Abby Starbuck will let it go again. Another one of their better servers here. Her serve, screaming line drive. Right there is Snyder. Set up for Layton on the outside. She'll drop it home. And another Tom Conklin State Farm kill. I was going to say State Farm touchdown, but you know I know better than that. And maybe I'm a little more irreverent than usual. But it is fun. I'm excited to be back in the gym. This is a lot of fun for me. Being back doing what you enjoy. Mercedes Bassett. And we have an illegal rotation on West Prairie. So we're going to tie things up at Lucky Sevens. If you know anything about me, I'm probably at my most happy in a gym or walloping someone at cards. Bassett, another nice line drive serve. Phelps got it off the floor. She'll tip it over. And Bassett's going to be underneath it. Needs help from Snyder. Tipped into the net by Hughes, and that one just couldn't quite get it up and over there. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH Events, live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell. And that one, a hammer brought in. Nice job there by Josie Hughes. She dropped that one in, makes it an 8-8 tie once again. And I got a little behind on the scoreboard as I was paying the bills. Klein, high floater, and Taylor Phelps wishes it out, and it does. So 9-8 now. Klein will go out, as coming in for her is Olivia Kramer. Lindsey Dunn is ready to let it go here, so she will eye it up. Sends it low, that one into the net. And John, that's how you can tell it's an early season match, because you get a lot of serves in the net. You know, missed timing on things. And you just know it's early.
Yeah, and we've seen quite a bit of that here tonight, but definitely not something that couldn't be worked out through practice. Like I said, it's the first game of the year. These girls are just getting going. Excited for this upcoming year, I'm sure. As Havana's going to score a point there on a misplay from West Prairie, but like you said, just getting up and going, getting through this first game of the year, and then building off that to work towards the future.
On the way with the serve is Lily Snowden, but she hits it into the net. And Snowden had her serve drift on her. Haley Hendricks back in for the Cyclones. As Natalie Moore will serve it. High floater. Picked up back row. Bassett going to set it to the outside, and that one dropped down and good by Katie Miller. And didn't matter whether it was good or not. There's a net violation anyway, so Havana once again takes an 11-10 lead. And of course, you can always go in and comment with us on YouTube. Love to have your fine comments where you're listening to us at. As Hendricks hits that one out of bounds. Would love to have your kind and friendly comments. Well, we'll take your negative comments too. But serve again, screaming line drive, a Country Financial ace by number 5, Josie Hughes. And now Havana's starting to get on a little bit of a roll. Kind of like they did in game number 1, which they won 28-26. Serve by Hughes. This one took a little off. Comes up to the tip, and she gets underneath it. They're going to pop it to the outside. That one hit into the net by Willa Towery. So gives West Prairie the side out. And a ton of our featured games will be, of course, here. All the West Prairie home games along the way. We've added Southeastern. We've added Macomb. Abingdon Avon a little bit too. So you're going to see a lot of people, a lot of places. Petty the serve. Up here to Layton. And then bumped across by Miller. Hendricks plays it. Petty outside for Kitch. Kitch going to load up. And pumped up by Towery. Hughes up front. Layton drops it past Petty and Starbuck, and good for a 14-11 Havana Duck lead. Kennedy Webster into the ball game for West Prairie. And another substitution. Klein coming back in for Havana. Serve high in the air off a Kitch. Tipped across by Petty. And now trying to hit it through was Miller. Side saddled it right into the net. This one stayed a little bit closer. And John, you can see as we're going along here, and I don't want to hit that theme too hard, but as we're going, the play's starting to smooth out a little bit more.
Oh, most definitely. And it was with as close as both of these sets have been played up to this point, a 2-point lead might be all Havana needs to walk away with this second set and this match.
Taylor Phelps will let the serve go. Popped into the back row. And going to be set up for Klein. Klein will lob it deep. Starbuck is right there in the middle. Petty to Dunn. Winds it up. Hits that one into the net. Leads, makes it a 15-12 lead. And again, say hi to us in the chat here. I'll try to check in every now and say hi to where you're listening to us at. Love to have you come in, make any comment. Katie Miller will serve here. 15-12 lead for Havana. Another screaming line drive through the hands of Dunn for a 16-12 lead, and Drew Snyder's seen enough. He will step aside, so will we. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Country Financial, we enjoy serving the community in which we live, big or small.
I love living in the Blandonsville area. It's where I grew up, went to school, and decided to raise my family. I never had a desire to live or work anywhere other than in a small town. I feel lucky to help my longtime friends and neighbors with their insurance needs. It's like working with family every day.
I'm Brett Powell, your local Country Financial representative, whose door is always open to work with you.
As I always
They don't
said,
need to hear that.
in my years in radio, it is always much better you don't hear what goes on in the commercials. As that happens, funny things happen. A hat brand built on 2 staples. That is comfort and style, specializing on snapback trucker style caps. Check out the selection or consider customs to build your business at BarclayBillsCo.com. Use code TSSR through Friday for 15% off. Don't let the hat rack fool you. Folks, there's always room for one more. BarclayBillsCompany.com. Wishing good luck to all athletes during this season. And do want to wish a special good luck and a shout out to one Miss Alexa Barkley. You know, hopefully sitting there at home watching us there, and we miss you, kiddo, and hope you give a good, quick recovery. Service across by Abby Starbuck, 16-13 lead here for Havana. And that one lobbed into the back corner as painting the back corner was Snowden. And makes it 17-13. That's going to bring Bassett back as Layton goes out. 17-13 lead here for the Ducks. And an illegal rotation once again on West Prairie. So it is going to make it an 18-13 lead as they try to pull away here. Bassett back there to slap dribble it. Kind of the jump serve. And back row, Taylor Phelps with it. Sends it up to Moore, and that they're going to call it out of bounds. Boy, it was right there, John. I would not want to have judged that one.
Yeah, nice break there from Havana as that one looked pretty close. From my angle, it looked like it was in, but of course I'm not down on the court reffing the game.
There may have been I don't know what you call a Parmesan cheese string in there. Serve, and Phelps and Starbuck couldn't decide who was going to get clashed together. It is a touchdown lead for the Ducks, 20-13. Here in game number 2, it is, of course, best 2 out of 3 falls. As Havana's starting to roll away a little bit in this one. High floater off of Starbuck. High to the middle. Petty going to set it. Webster gets it and hit it, I think, kind of, did the old PE hand punch and sent that. Bassett could not get it. Makes it 20-14. Cuts the Havana lead to 6. PE volleyball was fun at Plymouth, but not for the ceiling tiles. Serve sent right back across by Havana. Petty going to play it up to Dunn. Launches that one out of bounds for a 21-13 lead, 21-14 lead for Havana. Couple substitutions. Towery will come in. Also checking back in is, got my ones backward, that is Olivia Kramer going back to serve. Her serve, Starbuck is there. Petty accidentally hit it backwards, and it makes it 22-14 as Havana is starting to pull away here. As they'll get ready for it here, 22-14. Couple slap dribbles at it, sent on the way into the back row, and Phelps, problem with it. It's 23-14. And Havana 2 away from closing this one out after a real close one in game 1. Havana starting to pull away here. Serve, back row, Starbucks there. It is up for Petty. Quick set for Moore. Dug by Havana. Bassett going to bring it up, and yep, she stepped across the midline. She knew it. So 23-15. Lindsey Dunn back again. And Dunn need to go on a little bit of a Dunn run. Serve, screaming line drive right there with it is Snowden. They bring it up to her, tipped and dropped before Dunn could get there. Game and or match point for the Havana Ducks here.
Perfect placement on the tip there from Snowden.
She'll wind up, send it through, short shot, Dunn's got it, Petty. Back set, Moore had to back up and get it, lobs it high, and it dropped in on the sideline. Hughes couldn't do anything with it. It's kind of like, uh-oh. So here's the situation facing the Cyclones. They need 8 points in a row to tie this up, to send it to overtime. Moore, high, deep floater. Snowden is there. Bassett on the run, helps it out, and Snowden says, I got you. Done up to it to Petty, set up for Hendricks. She'll shuffle a little bit. Bassett trouble, and there's one on the way. And as I have said to some of my softball girls, 1 + 1 + 1. That's how you have to think of these big deficits like that. Moore, short shot right across the net. Hendricks able to roll it home and drop in the Tom Conklin State Farm kill. They do not have to be thunderous hits to be effective. Serve for Havana. Bassett going to pop it high. Miller tips it over and down and good. And that is games 1 and 2 in the book. as the Havana Ducks win this one by a 2-0 margin, and will usher us over into the varsity contest. And want to go down the list, thank our fine sponsors, folks like JoJo's Gaming Parlor, Water and Hole, Barclay Bills Company, M&B Furniture, McDonald District Hospital, MTC Communications, Community News Brief, Good Oak Gardens, Country Financial Agent Brett Powell, MDH, and Ride Farm Supply for sponsoring this one. We're going to step aside for a moment. We'll get you ready for the varsity contest. This has been TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.